So this keyboard is a dual mount Alice style keyboard. It's being ran by Sneakbox, and I don't know if you guys recognize this case, but I recognize this case. So let's look at it. Okay. Whoop. Dang. I actually have the perfect keycaps for these two. Okay, so let's look. Good morning, fruit. Check it out. Whoa. So this board is advertised as thin bezel dual mount. Definitely very thin bezels, as you can see. You have this like cute little engraving right here. Oh, wait. Hold on. There was a note about this. This is not going to be present in the group buy, but it's here. It's cute. I just wanted to point it out, but this is not going to be part of the group buy. So this is one of the protos. Yeah. Sorry, not to like get you guys excited, but essentially the person who helped fund the proto wanted this in the top part, but it's not going to be present in the group buy. So maybe you guys recognize it. But yeah. So here's the top. So definitely very thin bezels. We're using a PC plate today. Here's the side. This is a very interesting side. Oh, my cat's like struggling. And here you have the back. The board starts at 430 from what I see. So here's the back. Here's a USB port. Oh. USB port. And here's the front. Neat. So there's a few things I want to look at with this board, at least internally, that I'm noticing while looking at it. So this starts out 430 $430. There's 5 colors. You have silver, pink, light purple, dark red, and a black. So this is the dark red. You can either get it with a PCB or no PCB, and then there's 3 types of PCBs you can get. So you can get the Sneakbox hot swap, Sneakbox solder, and then you can get an Alice clone hot swap. So 2 hot swaps and then 1 solder version. You can also get no PCB. As for the plates, you have Alu, which is a leaf spring. You have Alu half, so Alu full, Alu half, and then you have PC. So that one is the full plate. It starts at 430 with PCB, no weight add-ons, yeah. So it starts at 430. So you can add either Alu half plate, PC full plate, Alu full and half, PC full plate. And then for the weights, you can get different accents. So let's see. You have a bunch of accents here. Let me read it all. So you have silver, pink, light purple, red, black, sandblasted coated copper, and then machine raw stainless steel. So 7 different additional accents. And then it looks like it's compatible with 3 different kinds of PCB. The group I actually opened a few days ago, and then it goes until December 17th. I think I saw that it had already hit MOQ. Am I thinking wrong? I think I vaguely remember seeing something, but I want to say it hit MOQ. Okay, nice. Okay, yeah. So it's over MOQ. MOQ on day 1. That's amazing. Okay, so it's at 65 out of 70 out of 100 right now. We are close to 100. Nice. So if you guys are interested, this does close December 17th, and there's a cap of 100, and it's already close to it, so definitely do not sleep on it if this was something you were looking at. Let's see. I'm just looking at the page. So typing angle is 4 degrees. Mounting style, you can use O-ring, tab gasket mount, or top mount. The front height is 18.5. Let's see. Everything else is pretty straightforward. You have a copper inner weight right here. And then the indicator. So looking at right here. So there is a diffuser piece for the indicator, as seen right here. Don't look at this engraving. Yeah. This is a very, like, sleek board. So let's talk about it. So it's interesting because here is, like, this curve right here. This board is kind of a mix of either very curvy or, like, very sharp. So I say very sharp because if you look at the top, very thin bezels, right? Very straight lines. You can see the straight lines. But then you look on the side, and on the back is where it starts to get, like, curvy. And then you can see, like, it's curvy right here, right here, right here, right? And then you have this part, which instead of being flat, it is like an accent right here across this entire weight. It's a really interesting design language from what I'm seeing. But yeah, definitely very thin bezels, as you can see right here. How is the heft? You know, I would say, out of, like, the boards I have been building, this is on the lighter side, I'd say. But yeah. So this is the accent, and then you have an inner weight as well. Here I see, I'm guessing this is either acrylic window. We'll open it and we'll check it out. But yeah. It's also interesting that there's 2 screws right here. So in terms of case screws, 2 up top, 4 on the bottom. These screws you can see right here. Okay, so it's acrylic on the Proto Group by Run OBPC. Awesome. Good to know. Cool. But yeah, let's open up the board and look at the internals. So today I'm building with a full PC plate. We're gonna be using Sarokey strawberry wine switches. Okay, so let us open it. So whenever I disassemble it, I was told that the screws on the chin are a little shorter than the rest, but that's only going to be a proto thing. So if you guys notice that, that's only for the proto. It's not the right size. I think I saw tools in the box. Let me grab those. Oh, sorry. Sorry. Okay. He goes like, what the heck? I'm gonna open up the board and look at the internals, and then we'll look at the plate and the PCB. All those artisans is shocking. Is this your first time in the stream? If you guys are new here, yeah, I spend all my keyboard money on artisans. I don't really buy keyboards. Uh, yeah, pretty much all my keyboard money goes to artisans, as you can tell. Imagine if I bought both, or all. If I bought like artisans and keyboards and keycaps. I mean, I do have a bunch of keycaps, but it's like business, you know. Got a new offer. Basically a couple grand on your desk from artisans. Yeah, I mean, but these I've been collecting over the years. And most of the time I try to only buy at retail. Unless it's like a really good deal. But yeah. I've been in the hobby for what? 3 years now? 3 years? So if you think I'm bad, wait until you see Diego's. Lightning keyboards. Okay. So here is the top piece. So let me flip this. I mean, but we're not judging, right? There's no judgment here, right? Okay. So here's the top piece. So here you can see the top mounts. You have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8 mounting points for the top mount, at least for the PC. It's interesting because this plate, instead of doing like a cutout, like right here, or like right here, for example, it's the full thing. Let's see. Actually, is that more common? I could just be remembering wrong. Okay, just ignore me. Just ignore me. This plate just looked bigger than usual, but maybe because the bezels are so thin, it's making the plate seem like a lot bigger to me. Uncanny Pally, thanks for gifting a sub. Hi, Presents. Okay, but here you can see the tabs. So you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So 8 screw points, and for the other mounting, you have 8 tabs. But the mounting points are slightly different from each other. I wonder if that means like each of, or like the different mounting is going to be significantly different. But we'll see. So you do have anchor points to kind of help you align, because while this looks like a flat piece, there's actually small anchors right here. So here's 1, here's 2, here's 3, here's 4. So you do have anchor points to help you align the top piece to the case. And looking at the bottom piece, so like Patty said earlier, this is acrylic, but for the run, it's going to be PC. Here you have the internal copper weight with these cuts. So you have 6, so 3, 3. Well, I say cuts, but you know, indents right here. And then here is your accent weight. You can see right here. I'm guessing it's held by these 4 right here. And then the weight is held by 5. So 2, 2, 1. Oh no, the designer. No. I don't know if I've ever like referred to myself as like Patty. Okay. I guess I can open this so we can look at how this weight is incorporated into the case. Ask Jan got the sub. Sorry, I forgot to say that. Also, if you're new here, my name is Patricia, or people call me Patty, or XXW, Xing Xing Wang. I build and review keyboards on Twitch, but I'm also active on YouTube and other social media platforms. I stream keyboards, but I also play World of Warcraft. And so that's kind of what I do on Twitch. But you may have seen my YouTube videos, or maybe not. Yeah. Okay, so this is really interesting. This is kind of cool. Hi Koala. So check this out. So here you can see this fits in like here, I'll just show you this part. So instead of being like a flat piece, this is actually like a corner or L-shaped weight that fits in. So you would slide it in. Hi Koala. You would slide it in like this, right? But yeah, the weight instead of being one flat piece is an L-shaped. So you can see it right there. If my camera will cooperate. So you can see the L shape right here. You have anchor points on the bottom case. So you see these two screws right here. Boop, boop. So these fit into the cubby on the weight. So it would fit right here. Right? And then I'm guessing this is another anchor point. Yeah, it is. So you do have an anchor spot right here on the weight to make sure that it aligns properly. But yeah, so anchor, and then you also have this part. So this one you can get in 7 different colors, but this is where it incorporates the accent weight and the USB port. Cool. Okay, so now... Okay, let me open this. Is there any film to go between the copper and alu? I don't see any film. Is there a reason you're asking about that? So here's a little window. I just took it out so I could disassemble everything. And then let's look at this. So since Patty the designer is here, I'm guessing you made these indents on the weight for like the sound, but is there another reason? Or is it just fancy looking? Shall I just say num num nums? No num nums? Oh, it's not even for sound. It's just to give half-plate builds a little more space to move. Oh, good thing I asked, because I was wrong. Sometimes you see grooves in weights, or you see like additional weights in boards for like acoustics, so I thought maybe that was why. But yeah, so these indents are actually for half-plate builds to have more space. Neat. And I see Patty will be there. Yeah, Patty the designer will be there. Acoustic paneling, yeah. So here is basically the board deconstructed. The diffuser on the top piece has 2 screws holding it in, but I'm not going to take that apart. But you have your bottom piece, you have the accent weight, you have this screen right here. This is the internal copper weight. And then you have your top piece and your plate. So this is the board deconstructed. Neat. Cool. The dark red looks nice, yeah. I thought about keeping my other test map, but I was like, well, based on the board we're building today, I should swap it. So here we are, the swap test map. Yeah, Patty the designer and Patty the streamer will be there. Unless Patty the designer is also a streamer. Then Patty the designer and Patty the XXW. JJW and Patty, oh yeah. Someone called me Jing Jing Wong, designer of Cloud Wine. Gets an E for effort. Holy moly. X and Wong? What the? What is this? Okay, cool. Then let's slide on this weight. This holds together pretty nice, huh? So, aside from having this anchor spot on the weight, there's also these parts that have been cut out to really help you like keep it in place. I can't believe I go to New York on Tuesday. And then I'm gone for basically a week. Kinko's never gonna forgive me. She has not been with me. Like, she was happy for me to come home, but then she, like, did not want to see me. Like, she was just, like, moping. She was just like, I don't want to see you. And then last night, she finally came up, was like, I want to sleep with you. And slept with me the entire night and cuddled with me, finally, right? And now she's finally back in my room because normally she hangs out with me and she sleeps like behind my chair or in her bed in this room, right, when I'm working. But it was a day of she just like did not want to see me. um and I feel bad because she's like finally forgiven me and that I'm about to like ditch her again. Yeah. Sad I won't be able to make this meetup. I already had plans to be in Philly at the time. Oh no. I mean, there'll be a lot more New York meetups, right? Also, let's talk about this plate once I unscrew these. This plate is interesting as well. I think that's like the hard thing about having animals, especially as like someone who travels. I wouldn't say I travel often, but it seems like I travel often, right? But it's just this month. Um, but it's hard because like I don't ever want to leave her. But traveling with animals is also really rough because since she's not a service animal, she would have to go like into like the cargo, right? And I would never want to do that to her. Okay. So, just looking at this plate, you can see it's pretty intricate because you see a lot of these like small cuts right here. So, you see these tabs. You have them for the O-ring, right? Avo is a YouTuber. What the? Yeah, so it's O-ring tab, right? So you see these is what keeps the O-ring in place. So you've seen this implemented on like keyboards like Doll. right? Where it's like instead of one ring, you have like 4 rings and it attaches to these tabs. So you can see that these do have the tabs on it, hence why there's like a little cut right there. And then aside from the tabs having that to secure it, the top mount, you can see that it's cut out in the plate. So the reason why this kind of like surprised me having this part, but I understand why now, is because this plate has like the tabs and the mounting points. But what I was saying earlier is I was surprised that even though the mounting points are right here, that it still had this piece instead of cutting it like a V right here. But that's because of the tabs. And then the mounting points, it also has like cuts. So you can see it, at least for these two, right? Meanwhile, the other mounting points, so the 8, they're free. But this one, these two at least, because there's the tabs up here, I'm guessing that's why these have like the, would you call them flex cuts? Or relief cuts right here? So, interesting. Yeah. Meanwhile, chat's just talking about Dale. Who the heck is Dale? But these are pretty tiny tabs. You know when you... Is anyone a teacher? As a streamer, sometimes it feels like I'm just talking to like a room full of people who like... like a room of kids. Except I have like no authority over them. So I can't be like, pay attention! Like, you guys just talk about whatever you want to talk about. This must be like how teachers feel nowadays, where it's like you got all these freaking zoomers who don't listen to you. But yeah, so here it's a little bit more apparent on the alu plate. So this is the full alu plate, except the main difference is that the tabs on the PC do not have the cuts, and I'm guessing because it's a softer material, but the ones on the aluminum do. And what I mean by that is if you see this tab, you see how there's no cut on the tab, but then you look at the alu, and here you can see there are the cuts right here. So each of the tab has a cut in the middle. Here you can still see the screw points, and then there is still the relief cut if you decide to do top mount. But yeah. So that's the main difference, is that the alu plate has these cuts on the tabs, but the PC does not. And I'm guessing that's just because you don't want to break your PC plate by adding too many cuts. Cool. But we're not building with the alu plate today. I just wanted to show you all, if you guys care, of course. You can get it laser cut too. Thank you, Patty, the designer. Yes, thank you, Patty, the designer. Okay. And so now we can look at the PCB. From what I was told, this is one of the 2 hot swap PC variations, or hot swap PCB variations. Maybe I should just change my name to Patty. No, my chat's just messing with you. Just ignore them. They're kind of turds. I feel a big flux cut. Sorry, I'm like trying to look for my scissors. If you guys are like, what is she doing? I'm looking for my scissors, but I can't find them. The matching alu plate is such a nice touch. Yeah, so apparently for the plates that you buy, The alu plate will match the shell color. Okay, don't look. Okay. Okay, good thing we got it open. Sick. Okay, this is the M5 Hot Swap PCB. M5 is a 1mm thick circuit board. Two types of 0.6 mm shims are included to use the standard 1.6. So you have a CR shim and you have a straight shim. Use the CR shims for M5 hot swap clusters. Okay. Neat. Okay. Alright, I'm gonna go get my scissors. I just can't. I'm like ripping these like barbarians. uh. Is this on the daughterboard? Yeah. Wow, what's wrong with being a barbarian? Ugh. Imagine being a barbarian in 2023. Yeesh. What is that emote? Skowom? Are you multi-streaming today? No, not today. Okay, so let's look at this. So, this is brand new out of the package. You can see that there is a big cut right here. There are also cuts right here. The LEDs are already installed for you. So 1, 2, 3. This is one of two of the hot swap PCB options that are being offered. Here you have this cut right here. Is that Orion Sun, the song? Yeah, it is. Dirty Dancer. Let's see. But yeah, here you see the GST daughter board. It does have a physical reset button, and from what it looks like, it does have LEDs on the back, so it does have underglow. Yeah, it does have one of the flux cuts. This is the M5 hot swap PCB. This is one of them, but there's also the solder version, and then there's the Alice clone hot swap PCB. I'm not sure if the Alice clone hot swap PCB has the cut, but Patty the designer can probably confirm. Yes, it does have pre-installed LEDs right here. Pretty nice. 1.6 with no flux cuts. Cool. Meanwhile, this one is 1 with flux cuts. So looking at the layout, so looks like you're forced into full backspace. You can choose to split your right shift if you would like. You can do steps or regular caps. You have the set right side spacebar key. But it looks like the left side you have a little bit more freedom. Yeah. No split back. Unfortunate. But yeah. I think underglow is disabled type by default. Unlucky. I actually do like underglow. RGB bling bling. Okay. Okay, let's see. Don't do split back. Well, let's look at this. Oh, these are like extras. Okay. Okay, cool. Here are the O-rings I was talking about, by the way. You need to do split shift unless you want to tear some hot swap sockets off on stream. Yeah, I can split them. Yeah, I don't mind splitting them. It does give you the option to do the both, but if you do it, then yeah, it interferes with it. But hey, the only issue I'm running into right now is that where are the shims? Where are the shims? They're in here. Okay, we found the shims. We're all good. Okay. So here is the daughter board. Right? And then here are the shims. Hi, Junkie. The board is beautiful. It do be beautiful. It's thin, very thin bezels. Which I like. I think... Okay, sorry if this, like, hurts anyone, but when I think, like, thin bezel Alice, my first thought is usually, Noxeraries. But anyways, so I do like this aesthetic, personally. Sorry, everyone. Sorry. I didn't mean to do it. I didn't mean to. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. But anyways. Anyway. Also, Nam... No... No... Oh, wait. No Num Nums is, Patty, the designer of this keyboard. So if you have any questions, feel free to ask. No Num Nums. Yes, no Num Nums. I don't know why that was, like, so hard for me to say. I was, like, struggling. Yes, No Num Nums is the designer of this board, so if you have any questions, feel free to ask. Also, mods. You guys forgot to remind me. You guys forgot to remind me! I didn't post on social media! Oh no. I'm a failure as a content creator. Jeez. Holy. I'm doing it right now. I know. Let's restart. I'll talk about the board all over again. We'll redo it, okay? It'll be fine. Here thought it was Nomu. Oh, I cannot even say that. I'm not even gonna attempt. Patty cannot design. I'll cover up this engraving so people aren't like, oh my god, it's a penguin keyboard. Then we gotta be like, just kidding, it's only for the proto. Twitch.tv/xingxingwalk. Sunglasses emoji. Your story. What the heck? What am I looking at right now? Okay, I'm just gonna ignore you guys. Why does iPhone change the color based on... Do I just do this? Oh yeah. Okay, no, that did not work. How do I make it more color accurate? No, I didn't. Maybe I have to like... I know it looks purple! It keeps like changing the color. Maybe if I do the background... Oh, oh, oh no, it changed it again. Something white? Okay, but that ruins it. Okay, that just makes it... Oh, it's not the brighting, it's like the color gradient. What if I just do like this? You can... Okay, I'm just gonna post this. I'll just say it's red, I promise. I gotta post to X. What if I apply like a filter? Oh, it looks purple. Okay, we'll just turn it. Okay. Building the Alyssia and group by the moment. Switch that. TV slash Xing Wang. Okay. Yeah, I mean, so the reason I got an iPhone was because I could not look at my Instagram analytics on Android because the phone apps or social media apps are meant for iPhone. They develop it. I mean, of course, there's like Android versions, but like the most updates are for Apple. I couldn't look at analytics on YouTube, and I could not post music on my YouTube shorts. And then that's why I swapped to Apple, because after that, I could access everything. But on Android, I couldn't. And it was like known issues for months, right? But they were just like, just don't use Android. So that's the only reason, because I had a Pixel for a very, very long time. Um, but yeah, I had to legitimately ask my mom if I could use her iPad so I could access analytics. And if you're like, why do you need your analytics? It's because I needed them to send them to brands to be like, hey, here's the analytics of the post that I made for you, right? And like YouTube for some reason wouldn't let me like post music with my reels or with my shorts. And so I would have to upload it on my computer, but it was just like weird format because you can't pick the thumbnail on your computer. So if you want to pick like the music and the thumbnail, you have to do it on your phone. But what happens when it doesn't even let you do that? Then what? So it was just like weird social media stuff that I needed access to, and I didn't want to be like ask my mom every time to use her iPad. And eventually I got an iPad, But yeah, it was just weird restrictions like that that I was just like, okay, heck it. I'll just get an iPhone because that's what these social media apps are made for. So, yeah. That's just dumb, I know. I mean, Stream probably remembers, but I was complaining about it for a long time because I was like, I can't even access my analytics. And here's the thing with like Instagram is that you can't access your analytics unless you're on mobile. Like you can't go to the desktop and look at your analytics unless you go through like a third-party website. Like you have to view it through the app. And that is also really weird to me. But I think it's because they made it as a phone app and they want to keep it as a phone app, so the like super important features they keep it on there for that reason. So it's weird. Yeah, it's interesting, but ideally this should be something in between. Apple can be too simple, focus on broad user, too finicky and fragmented. Yeah, in a perfect world, right? If only. Okay. Let us see. So if you're also new here, I wire balance. Sometimes it takes me a long time, so I'm sorry ahead of time. Luckily, 2Us are pretty nice though. Okay, well, you guys are unlucky. I don't know who you guys pissed off, but the stab gods have blessed me today, and I don't have to do any tuning. Woo! Woo! Nice. I want a refund. Portal, would you say kookaburras or yeah, the kookaburras? Are those like considered pests in Australia? I was gonna say a bunch of mean things about Apple. Yeah, I mean, personally I would not use Apple. Um, but I have to. Why are you laughing, Cordell? It was a serious question. Kookaburra? Just like I didn't know iguanas were pests in Florida. Everyone was like, "Aw, Eggy's video, the iguana's so cute." Meanwhile, you guys don't know she's showing that she hates them. She's showing that they're so... like, she does not like them. Meanwhile, we're all like, "Oh, so cute!" And she's just like, "No, pain." I heard there's like little anoles in Florida, and I wanted to catch one, and I was told if you want to catch one, just throw freezing water on them because they freeze up, and like in the winter, they'll like fall from trees too, because they're just frozen, and then once it's warm again, they just like wake up. They're like, "Oh, good morning. I was frozen for 3 days, but I'm awake again." So imagine that. I would love to be frozen for a few days for like good sleep. Just wake up. What's it called? Cryo? Crypto? Not crypto. Cryo? They're national treasures. I heard cockatoos are considered pests. They designed a sleeping bag in the shape of a onesies. Dang. Invest in cryostasis and crypto. Kangaroos are the real enemy. Oh, really? Not like the snakes. You know, sometimes I wonder if I would like life in Australia or like other places just in general. That's one thing with my life. Like, sometimes I wish I had done more, is like lived in different places. Because I've pretty much been in Austin like my whole life, but it would have been cool to live in like Taiwan or Japan or a new place for some extended time. You would thrive in Cabo? Why do you say that? But you know, it's like something I wish I was able to do. Just like move and live somewhere new for like a few years. I would actually really like to live in New York, at least for like 2 years. Good night, Jonah. I mean, it's mostly to say like, oh, I've lived in like the Big Apple. You know, I've lived in a city. I lived in Boston, but Boston was like a little interesting. It would, but you know, I think it would be cool to be like, oh yeah, I lived in New York for a little bit of my life. I live in Austin, Texas, but I've also born and raised here. Austin sounds very cozy. I did at the time I didn't like it, but after I moved away, then it's like I miss it a lot. Yeah, because when I first moved there, it was during Thanksgiving and the start of winter, and being a Texas gal and getting hit by the winter, the Boston winter for the first time ever during my first months there was like extremely brutal. Like I could not even adapt. Like I was just like thrown into it. I don't want to move to California. California is actually one of the places I never want to move to. Yeah, I lived in Boston, yeah, for like 2.5 years. I've never ever had the desire to move to California. I don't know. It's called Nell. Yeah, I lived in Dorchester, but right by the red line. So like the outskirts of Dorchester. When I first told people, oh, I'm gonna be living in Dorchester, they were like, oh, do not live in Dorchester. And I was like, well, it's right by the red line. And they were like, oh, okay. Outskirts of Dorchester. I was like, yeah. I lived on Washington Street, which was very close. Alston, nice. I wanted to live in what is it called? Quincy? Quincy is like all the Asian people were there. Yeah, well, it's like in hindsight, I actually really liked Boston. Yeah. Um, I used to go to Braintree for food as well. I liked Quincy. Dorchester wasn't bad. Um, but like the MIT or Harvard area was like whatever to me. Did I ever make it to PAX East? No, but I went to the one in Texas. Yeah, I miss some Japanese and Red Lime and Cucina Mia. There was this dumpling place in Chinatown where I would buy like big bags of dumplings, like 50 dumplings for like $8. Uh, and I used to go to this place called like Double Chin, which was like a late night Hong Kong style dessert eatery. The owner had a kid. Oh, yeah. I love Japanese. Double Chin? Yeah. Double Chin is so bad. Yeah, but it's like it hits different late night, you know? It's like late night you want food. It's like, well, fuck. Let's just go to Double Chin. It's open late. Let's just go. That was another thing about Boston I didn't really know. It's like the gas stations close after a certain time, or a lot of them do. And so our first like week in Boston, like we would like drive out trying to like find food to eat or like drive around the area. Um, but then the gas stations would be closed. And it was like, welp, what do we do about gas? I was there 2016 to 2018. You're living in, oh, I see. Yeah, I've I've told you guys like the startup story, right? Do you guys want story time? For those who are like new here, you guys can get to hear story time. I feel like I haven't talked about it in a while, but I can tell you guys about it. Um, so I went to school for, I was gonna graduate MLS. Wait. Okay. Okay, I'm waiting. Let me know. Okay, ready? So, college, I was going to do med school, but ultimately I decided that I hated people and the healthcare system, and I couldn't do that. So I decided to do MLS, which is medical laboratory science, which is essentially like do lab work. And I really wanted to work with like bacteria, so I wanted to do like microbiology or stuff like that, right? And I I was kind of worried because MLS, you basically take 3 years of super condensed classes and labs, and then your last year is actually like a residency with like a fellow MLS program, but you have to like pay, you still have to pay for schooling and housing wherever you do like your quote 1 year. And so I was like really dreading that 1 year. But I was like getting ready to go and do that. And I volunteered. So I used to work for DreamHack. I used to do social media for them. I did it for 2.5 years. And I would volunteer at a bunch of like gaming conventions or like game organizations. And so I volunteered at South by Southwest. I worked with the gaming sector of South by Southwest, and I was assigned to this group that was responsible for the land part of South by Southwest, and they had hired two companies to basically run it. But basically, I got there. It was like a complete shit show. None of the PCs had like the games on it. They couldn't even like do the demos. Like both companies like dropped the ball. Um, and I don't know. Something like came over me, and I was like, don't worry, I know someone who can like come in and fix this. And so I called up my friend Bo, and he's actually the one who like helped me get started with streaming. That's like a story for a different day. But I called up Bo and I was like, hey, these people are so dumb. I was like, these people are not prepared, but you know, they really need help and they need you to like basically set up a LAN for them because they don't know what they're doing. And this is like South by Southwest gaming, which is like a pretty big section of it. And so Bo came in, basically did like cloud at the time. It was like basically airdropped it to everyone. Define Basil! Thank you, Basil! Oh my gosh, we love Basil. Hello, Basil. Happy Thanksgiving to you too. Yeah, so South by Southwest is like a huge event, right? But their LAN thing, they like the company they hired like completely fucked up. How am I? I'm good. I'm building a keyboard. Welcome to the stream. How are you? Can I get a shout out for Basil? Basil draws really cute cats. And also games. If you look at Basil's Twitter, it's so cute. Yeah, Basil. We love Basil. We actually did a sticker exchange at TwitchCon. Yeah, the Basil. So famous. Yeah, it's that Basil. We met at TwitchCon. I hope you've been doing well. Welcome to the stream. You did the sticker exchange? I exchanged with a few people. I was just telling the story about how I landed my first job. It was me. Hazel also just came out with a keycap set with Infinity Key. So congrats on that as well. I wanna age soon. Happy early aging. Or wait, happy early aging? Happy early birthday. I was just telling about how I got my first job. I used to do a lot of volunteer for, so that's actually how I met Skara, or I guess I call him Jimmy, but I volunteered for Lone Star Clash because Tespa actually originated from UT Austin, which is where I went to school, and Alan and Donald were part of Tespa, and they asked me to volunteer, and so that's actually how I met a lot of gaming pros at the time. It was like early league days, so during that time, it was like CLG EU with like Yellow Pete, Froggen, Wicked, Snoopy, Crepo. So CLG EU, like that goes like way back. But it's also the start of C9. So it was like Hi, Sneaky. I don't remember the other people because I wasn't in charge of them. But yeah, I met all of them then. I became friends with them. And that's kind of how I know some of the like big league people. And then also Alan or Kiwi Kid went on to play for Dignitas and LCS. So that's how I got to know like Sora further, Cutie Pie. Um, I think at the time Darshan or Zion Spartan was part of the team. Um, so yeah, it's like really, really throwback. But I used to go and volunteer and work at those events. And that's how I know a lot of like old league people. You're making us feel old. I know. Sorry. But regardless, it was like that's my history. Worked at DreamHack. I work at Lone Star Clash. Lots of gaming lands. So the TLDR is that at the South by Southwest, I brought Bo in. We basically saved the event, and I was offered a position by one of the companies who was there. Um, he offered me a job immediately to work at a startup in Boston, um, as like their tech director. Um, and I was already kind of like dreading doing my 1 year residency. And so I took the job offer, but I should have known at the time that it was like they fucked up such a big event that I should have known the startup was going to fail. But as someone who was like about to graduate college, being offered, so they paid me, they offered me at the time like 60K right out of school, which was like, in my eyes, it's like I wouldn't be making that much immediately. Like I would have to like work towards it. And they offered to pay for my move, and they would fly me out and show me everything. And it was one of those offers where I was like, God damn, like I haven't even graduated. I'm already being offered like a tech job. It's gonna be in a new city. Um, and I don't know. I thought about it for a long time, and I had already had doubts about doing MLS. And I knew like I wanted to do tech because I had already started taking programming classes, so like Python, C++, and I knew I was probably going to be involved in tech in some way, form, um, some shape or form. So I took the offer. And that's why I moved to Boston right after college. I got a job offer because I went to South by Southwest Gaming, saved their event, and I was offered a job. Um, yeah. Hello, Ken. But ultimately, that startup failed. It was pretty bad. My major was MOS, Medical Laboratory Science. I was gonna do med school, but I was like, fuck med school. So I actually changed my because I had all my credits already. Because MLS is 3 years of taking like 18 to 20 hours on top of summer classes. So you basically get all your credits within the 3 years, and then you do 1 year of like your training, and then you go straight off graduation. So I actually already had all the credits to graduate. And so that's what I did, because I was like, no way they're gonna wait. No way I tell them like, hey, I gotta do like a year of like my internship before I graduate and then I'll take your job offer. I was like, I was thinking to myself, yeah, there's no way they're gonna wait for me. I can graduate right now instead of like doing the year. So I just changed my major. Um, I got a Bachelor of Arts in biology with a minor in health professions and Chinese. Um, so I was able to graduate that semester and then go do my tech job. But it was hard because I had to teach myself how to basically build a website. And it was perfect because like Connor had just taken like a web dev boot camp, and so he was like teaching me, and we were working on it together. And I had to learn stuff like graphic design, um, and I had to do like SEO, SEM. I basically did like everything tech related, and I did a lot of graphic stuff. Um, yeah, it was definitely like a learning curve for me, but since it was like a small team, there was like a lot of trust within all the employees. But there was also like a lot of red flags. Um, and I say this because like the owner or the like CEO of the company, so he pitched the company to me as like selling social experiences. And so the idea, or like if you're like what the hell is that, so it includes, for example, like TED Talks, escape rooms, LAN events, and like travel packages. So for example, like coaxel or coaxus, I don't know if you guys have heard of it, but it's basically like these events where you can like go sign up. You can either listen to someone talk, it's either interactive on your own. But basically, that was the idea, right? And so in my head, I thought, okay, so this company could potentially go on to be like basically an event planner, right? For like different varieties of stuff. And so I was never in charge of like coming up with the ideas for these events. I was just like the tech person. But since our company was like so small, they would ask me for feedback, and I was not very well liked by some of my. So there was like a company of uh so Sam, Alec, Hannah, I don't remember this chick's name, but there was five of us, right? And so obviously like the owner would ask all of us like what we thought, and it was really rough. It was very, very hard because the two girls wanted to always agree with, or basically everyone wanted to agree with like the CEO, right? Like he would come up with an idea and they'd be like, oh yeah, that's like really, really good. And then they would ask me in a separate like environment because I wasn't around for those meetings, like the product meetings, and I'd be like, that idea is kind of terrible. I mean, I wouldn't say it like that, but I would be like, um, not for me. Um, but you know, well, because I felt like there was a lot of disconnect, right? So I think from the owner's perspective, there's a lot of disconnect on his end because he never really like, I don't want to say like lived a hard life, but it seemed like he was very privileged. And so I was like, who would pay this much for this, Coming from like a consumer side. Like of course there's always going to be a buyer, but it's like if you're trying to appeal to the masses, it's like for someone like me, I would never pay for this shit, right? And then the other two were more like people pleasers. So they just wanted to just always say yes, always agree, make our boss feel good, stuff like that. And I was quite the opposite. And he made us take this like personality test bullshit. It's like bullshit because like he obviously got the leader, and then the other two got pleasers, and then I was like loyalist and the other guy was like a thinker, right? Um and so it was just hard because in my mind, so here's where I fucked up. Here's where I fucked up personally. I was like, it's none of my business because as long as I'm being paid, it doesn't matter. As long as they're able to come out with products and I'm being paid, like, I should not care as much, right? I just should not care. Like, it's them coming out with the products, it's their thing, they handle it. I just do the tech, I get paid, and we're good. But that's where I fucked up. Because I should have been more vocal and been like, no, this is awful. Don't do this. Don't do that, you know. But at the same time, like, I was still just an employee as well. And so I guess I should have, like, been more driven to make sure that the company succeeded. Um, but I'll be real with you guys. I worked from home. I only had to go into the office maybe like once a month. I could do everything from my house. And I was actually too busy streaming to like care about the company. That's when I started growing my streaming. Because I started in college kind of like on and off. And then I liked doing it. And then I moved to Boston. And that's when I really picked it up. Because when I wasn't working, I would be streaming. And so part of me was like, bruh, it's like, why worry about work when I could just focus on like streaming? Because it's like fun for me. Um, so yeah, that's actually when I first started streaming. So in hindsight, I probably should have cared more about the company, but there was one event that really made me like disconnect with it all, and that was when so our boss could obviously tell that there was some kind of like tension between me and like the other workers just because like they would come up with an idea. I feel like my boss did this on purpose, but they would have meetings and I would have to sit in and they would be talking, right? And then he would be like, "Interesting. What do you think, Patricia?" And like it's like I shouldn't even be part of this discussion, but since there's only 5 of us, sure. And I would give my honest opinion. And of course this would upset the other people who came up with the idea, right? Um and so my boss could tell that there was like tension, like, oh, the 2 out of the 3 employees there didn't really like me because I was like so negative. But I wasn't negative. I was just being honest, you know? I'd be like, well, it's a cool idea, but what about this? What about that? What about this? Like, who are, you know, I would ask questions that no one were asking. And of course, they wouldn't have the answers because they didn't think about it. And it was like, oh, well, I don't know. And so Um, I was not well liked by 2 of the people, 2 of the 3. The other guy didn't mind me so much because he was one of those people where like he thought a lot, and when you presented him with like stuff that was reasonable, he'd be like, "Oh, yeah, I didn't think about that," you know, and would like actually think about it. So I did like working with him, because he was at least reasonable. Um, And then the red flag was when my boss decided to do like a company retreat. But here's the thing is that our boss either didn't have the money or decided to cheap out and rented an Airbnb behind his apartment by the office so that we could go to the office work and then immediately just walk to the Airbnb, right? To like all spend the night together and basically have like a company retreat. But yeah, yeah, that's what I'm saying. Um, and then our my boss, instead of going back to his apartment, he was just like, "Well, I paid for it, so I'm just gonna sleep in the living room. The other 2 can share a room, and then I got my own room." And I was like, "Your apartment is literally like a 5-minute walk away. Like, can you just like go? Can you just like go to your apartment, I did not feel comfortable, you know. Like, thankfully my room had a lock on the door. Um, but yeah, my boss at the time just like slept in the living room, and I was thankfully in my own room. Uh, and like I could have just gone home. He he made us stay there because he's like, oh, I paid for it. Like, you guys can stay here. You can sleep in. It's like I'd rather literally just get on the red line and just like sit on the train for like 25 minutes and go home. Like, do I really have to stay here? You know, I just don't understand. I was not. It was not good. And to make like matters worse is that he started playing like 21 questions, and then that started getting like kind of dirty. And they were like, "Come play with us," and I was like, "No, I'm tired. Good night." Um, and so after that retreat, I just like fully disassociated. Um, I only like I was like no longer invested. I streamed to kind of like vent. Um, so uh I would do what they asked me to do. Um, and I got to the point where like we weren't making money because all the ideas they were coming up with required a lot of planning and time and money that they were just burning. And then as soon as they stopped paying me, that's when I was like, yo, I'll put up with a lot of shit, but when you stop paying me, that's like a completely different story, right? And so I was like, hey, you have not paid me in like 2 months. Like, when is it? Like, when are you gonna pay me? Because like he would tell me like, hey, I'm gonna be delayed in paying, and I'd be like, okay, that's fine. Um, just when are you gonna pay me? Yeah, he didn't pay me for 2 months. Luckily, Connor finally had a job, so we were fine. But there was a stretch where he didn't pay me for like 3 months, and then I confronted him. I was like, hey, like I can't do this. Like you can't just not pay me. And then he like broke down on me, and he was like, we're not making any money. Um, because one of the guys is from Australia, and he had literally moved him here. And he was like, I've been working like a second job to literally pay for your salary and his salary, and I haven't been able to focus on the company to make money. And he was like, I I can't even like pay my rent. I've been having to like sleep at my friends. Um, it just like broke down on me, and I was like, okay, well, I'm gonna leave the company then. I was like, look, realistically, I can't work for someone who does not pay me consistently, and it's very clear that you can't pay me. So, I mean, I'll help you out as a favor if you need stuff done, but I was like, I can't. I just can't. So I ended up quitting, and Connor was like, what do you want to do? And I basically was like, I want to go back to Austin. Because at that time, like, I wasn't even sure, like, what I wanted to do again. So I was like, bruh, you know, I have my degree, but I didn't do my year, so I would have to do, like, research. Um, I, I struggled with it because I knew a lot of stuff, but I wasn't good at one thing. Like, I was a jack of all trades, but not, like, a master at one. So I could say I knew how to do a lot of stuff at like the surface level, but when it came down to like actual knowledge, it was like bare minimum. And so I let that get into my head too. And I was like, fuck, what am I gonna do? You know? um, and so Connor found a job back in Austin. We moved back, and then I just picked up jobs here and there. I was doing freelancing for a little bit, just like building websites for different restaurants. Um, and then I started streaming a little bit more. And yeah, that's just kind of where it all like eventually I hit Twitch partner by doing keywords. I started making money from doing content. I had less and less time to work with like my clients, my freelance clients. Front end, yeah, yeah. Um, I do know some back end, but I've never done anything like formal training. It's all been self-taught. Um, and yeah, that's where I am today. That's the story. Um, but yeah, I didn't know what I wanted to do out of college. I said yes to kind of a trap startup job, but it was a very good experience. I would do it again for sure. I would leave a little bit earlier. Oh yeah, the shim, sorry. I'm just like autopilot. I would have put on the switches and been like, why is this wobbling? Why is this being so weird? Yeah, sorry. Too busy talking about my life journey, I guess. Back end the front end stuff makes no sense to me. Yeah, so if I didn't like take up streaming or like keyboard stuff, I probably would have done I wanted to do web design. Like started like taking I started teaching myself like Adobe like XD. I wanted to do UI UX stuff and web design because like front end is fine, but I think I would have liked to design a bit more. So instead of doing like the actual coding, I would have done like the mock-ups of like the website. And then I also thought about like taking like a formal course just because like those are really good for at least to get like fundamentals or like connections. So I thought about doing that too, but those boot camps are like super expensive. What happened to the people who didn't like you? So I think they're also friends, but they left as well. Um, and I don't know what they're doing now because they weren't getting paid as much as me and the other dude were. Like they were more so like they were not salaried, they were more like hourly, but it wasn't even like it was like on and off. I would say they were closer to like interns, right? So they weren't getting paid a lot. Um, so it didn't have to worry. They didn't have to worry too much about like financial stuff because um, they were okay. My sister just got her master's UX and she says she can't get a job now. Yeah. That market got like really, really saturated. I think it's this way. Yeah, it's this way. Uh, Probably like this. Yeah. But yeah, and that's how I'm here today. So if streaming doesn't ever work, I'll probably just go back to front end stuff. I would consider maybe trying UI UX, but I'd be more interested in like web design. So that's where I'm at. I'm gonna do this Twitch keyboard thing until That's why I love stab content. Oh, because I told you guys stories like this. True. But I don't know if I've ever told you guys Connor's like story. I don't know if I can. Actually, I probably shouldn't. That's like his story to tell. But Connor's journey was also like pretty insane. Like career story, I should say. But if Connor ever wants to tell it, then I'll tell you guys. But yeah, no, I wouldn't tell it. Yeah, I've shared some of it before. But the TLDR is that Connor never graduated college. He did a boot camp. And he ended up working at one of the biggest tech companies you could work at. One of the hardest ones to get a job at. So you know, he may seem like an idiot, but actually pretty smart, all things considered. Sorry, Connor. He doesn't watch my streams, so it's okay. But yeah, I don't know what I would do. I guess what I'm trying to do now with stream stuff is I'm trying to get more major brand deals with like big brands and get sponsorships, like more consistent like sponsorships, either with brands, with vendors, but it's hard because the keyboard hobby is a little weird right now, I would say. No num nums. Wow. Thanks for gifting subs. Thank you. Wow. Thank you, Patty. Thank you, Patty the designer. Let's see. Bread, Cram, Eugene, Prunk, Snickers, Sarasha, Rongdongs, Wilkers, Wiffle, Sodo, Jordan does keeps, and Jason 7 of 9. Thank you. I appreciate it. Keyboards as a hobby in consumer space has never been in a better place, but market is also cooling as most. Well, it's more like as a creator, it's a little rough in the sense of like, how do I say this? Designers are my bread and butter, right? I make the most from clients and designers. I don't make shit from vendors. Vendors do not pay me. But the thing with designers is that group buy models are slowly declining. It's like hard to make MOQ, or it's like very, very low. It's no longer like high numbers like what you saw back in the day where it's like 300, 400 boards sold. And so as a consumer buying into keyboards, yeah, this is a great time to be a consumer because you can get keyboards for like 1/3 of the price as it was back then. However, as a creator, it's rough because designers now have to be a lot more selective with who they work with, because they might not be able to afford all the advertisement fees. And then vendors or big companies also don't like paying. And that's been really rough. So that's what I mean by it's kind of in a weird space right now. And I've always struggled with this, but it's like when companies know like you need the keyboard for content, because especially if it's like a really hype board, it's like they know you need the content, and so I don't know. I hate the politics of it because you obviously don't want to do it for free, but you know it's going to be good for your platform. So you just kind of like, okay, sure, I'll do it for free, I suppose. You know? Yeah, but that's the thing. It's like then vendors don't work with you, or you have to really like sell yourself well, right? And you have to like come to an agreement. But even when you come to an agreement, it's like it's not always honored. Um so does anyone know if it's worth to put something in between the PCB and stabs? Does not really do anything. You're trying to find mods and you're on a budget. I think it depends on what you're trying to do. Are you like struggling with ticking, or is there like a gap? Or what's wrong with your stabilizers? But yeah. So if you're on a budget, I would recommend actually wire balancing. Because then you don't have to do any mods. But of course that's like a little harder. If you have lube, you can lube it up as well. Like, what mods do you have on your stabilizers right now? Okay. But yeah, I feel like a broken record because I always talk about this, but I wish I could be more transparent about things. And I try to be, but you guys have to realize that those are the brands I work with as well. So there's definitely politics involved. Definitely. I'm trying my best to not burn any bridges. Thanks for the follow. I clipped the feet that stick out some lube and I shortened the rod a bit. Um, I think the biggest thing is making sure that the wires are straight. Like, there's a few ways you can check it, but um, you can try plugging the back. That could help it as well if the wires are straight. Finally, I managed to catch a Patty stream. Hello! I'm just, rambling as per usual. Oh no. Okay, well, I'll be here, you know. I'll do these first. Thank you. Everything else is nice. I did tape mat today. I helped a ton, yeah. That stream's so lit. Thanks. There's a few things you could do, but biggest thing is you want to make sure they're like properly installed for sure. Properly looped. The straight wires. There's one thing I learned in my 8 years of working in office: you can never avoid politics. It's a privilege if it doesn't affect you. Yeah. And like, the fucked up thing is, even if you don't do anything, sometimes you just get dragged into shit regardless. And I think that's what I hate. It's like, I could just be minding my own business and someone just like does not like the way I like say something, even if it doesn't mean anything. And then it's like I get flamed, you know? Like, God, I hate using this example. I hate using this example, but recently, well, maybe not like recently, but I had appeared on someone's. I was talking to one of my guy friends, and I guess their lady overheard me, and then they got like really upset, and then just like, who was that? And it's just like one of those things, like, you could be doing nothing, and then all of a sudden you're like being attacked. Unsubscribe from Glarses? Why? What did Glarses do? Yeah, but even if it's not like a her problem, it's like, it's a problem regardless. And then it becomes everyone's problems, you know. And thank you for the 24 months. How many times can he pass 1 mil? Jeez. Man, Glarsons is always doing something crazy. He's a true madman. He's a little silly, yeah, a little. Glarsons is like very sweet as well. And, you know, he's one of those people that can, like, do whatever the heck he wants. Right? And, like, if he doesn't want to work with a brand, he just won't. He's just like, no. One day I'll have enough followers and to be like, if you don't pay me properly, no. Because it's not like, okay, well, some creators do ask for a lot, but it's not like I'm asking for a lot. I just, if I'm gonna do something for free, I'd rather just play video games. Is that a bad mentality to have? Sorry. It's probably like really shitty to say. I only did the spacebar. I did tape in between stabs. It helps a lot. Nice. My colleagues told our league we're gonna leave the job if we don't go to raise we want, and I was like, who's we? Shake my head. Yeah. It's rough. It's a rough world. But if I did not like streaming, I would not do it. But I like streaming. I like hanging out with everyone. And it's kind of weird, right? Because if you meet me IRL, you know, like, oh, she's hella, like, introverted. And yet, I stream so much. And I think it's because, like, it's a little different, but I actually do like conversations. But I think I'm better, like, one-on-one. I think. But that's kind of what streaming feels like from time to time. It's like I'm having one-on-one conversations with each one of you. It's not like 30 voices all at once, you know. Someone's about to do the schizo. This thing. Yeah, I actually do enjoy streaming. And maybe it seems like I like talking about myself, but I really don't. When I go to meetups and people are like want me to talk about myself, in my mind I'm like, damn, I talk about myself so much on stream to the point where like I feel bad. And it's like I rather not talk about myself. I rather like hear what you guys have to say, right? um like I always talk about myself. Like let's talk about you guys. Like, what have you all been up to? Stuff like that. But I don't know. If you ever meet me at meetups and you think like, oh, Patty's not like really social, I guarantee you I'm having fun. I like listening. That's how I've always been. I like listening to people talk. Right? I don't like hearing my own voice. I don't want to hear myself talk. But I really enjoy meeting people and hearing like the stories they have to share. I'm gonna be so silent. Yeah. I mean, I say I'm silent, but at like Keeb life, I had to be super social, and that was like really hard for me. I don't know if any of you saw me at Keeb life, but I was like running all over the place. Might just stare at other people's boards and not say a word. Yeah, so at one of the meetups, at the Arizona meetups, like there was this one group that I could tell really wanted to like talk to me, but then I like ran out of things to say and I was like, okay, I'm gonna go look at boards, bye. And they were like, oh, okay, bye. I was like, okay, bye. I felt so bad. I felt so bad. Good night, Manic Geek. Good night. But it was like, I ran out of things to say, and I wanted to go look at the keyboards. Yeah. After that interaction, I was like, damn, I must have made them feel really bad. But when I go to meetups, I actually do enjoy looking at the boards. I think it was Zir watched it happen live. And she was like, oh damn. Patty just like, okay, bye. Okay, bye them. Yeah, I'm sorry. Also, if you want to talk to me and I'm just like hella awkward. That's why I typically stand by people like Vin. Because he can just do all the talking for me. And then when people ask me questions, he just like answers it for me too. So I can save my energy. Which is really nice. What does that even mean? You're just vibing. Vin, you hungry yet? Yeah, he'll just be like, where do you want to go eat? I'm like, I want like Korean food. And he's like, okay, I got a place. I'm like, nice. It's really nice because I didn't even have to do a lot of the planning at Keep Life. I told Vin the few places I wanted to go, and then he just like filled the rest, right? I told him I wanted milk crepe, I wanted to go to observatory, obviously Keep Life. And yeah, we just filled in the blanks from there. What does that mean? What are you trying to say? Ava? And you know what? Aaron is just kind of doing it again. He was like, because I don't typically plan my trips, and Aaron's like, we go here, and let's go here. I'm like, perfect. Perfect. I don't have to do any thinking. I just show up and eat. That's the life. You just show up and eat. What figure? A circle. Meanwhile, Insty disappointing us. Damn Insty. I'll never forget that. It's forever ingrained in my mind. What's my favorite dish to eat? That's a good question. I actually don't know. I can tell you like my favorite foods. My top 3 favorite desserts. I was talking about this the other day. I like cream puffs. I like creme brulee and tres leches. Those are my top 3 desserts. Hi, Frank. I like eating. Okay, if you had to make me pick between like noodles and rice, I would probably pick rice, although noodles is a very close. I like thick noodles. I don't like thin noodles. I like thick noodles. And I like saucy or soupy. I don't like dry noodles. Oh, I love udon, yeah. I like udon more than like ramen, for sure. Oh, I have watched Mashl's. Very good. What else? I do enjoy eating a lot. I have like food anxiety though. I'm the type of person who's like, okay, I need to go eat with people. I don't ever eat alone. And the reason is because if you find the right person to eat with you, you can get them to order the second dish that you want, right? So it's nice when you have like a partner who's like, what do you want to eat? And it's like, I want to eat this and this. And they're like, okay, you get that, I'll get this. And then we both eat it, right? And that's like the dream. But I also get like food anxiety, and I'm like, hey, let's get this and this, and then we order this for later. For later, you know. We can save it for later. And that's how you end up with a lot of leftovers to eat for later. Like, at one restaurant we went to, um, how did what was the order sequence? It was I ordered a dish, the other person ordered a dish. Wait, sorry. I ordered 2 dishes. That person ordered 1 dish. and an appetizer. I ordered an appetizer. And then we got 2 desserts. So we got 7 things. 2 appetizers, 3 entrees, 2 desserts, 2 drinks. Oh my god, it was a lot of food, but it was a good meal. And that's why, like, when so Insti can attest to us. So like when I go and eat with like my cousin, it's like, all right, we got Lauren and I. We can both eat 1.5 dishes, so technically we can order 3. But we got Instigator, so that adds 1.5. So technically we can order 4 entrees, or like, and then we can order 3 desserts because dessert's not that big. And so we went to the place and we basically ordered the entire menu. And then Insti was like, I'm not hungry. And we're like, oh my god. What the fuck is wrong with you? He's just like, I'm not hungry. We're like, oh my god. Oh my god, don't say that to us. But he was like, oh, we didn't really need to order that much. I'm not that hungry. And we're like, no. We're ordering your share. You can't cop out like that on us. Like, we're gonna order your share. It doesn't matter. You should have said that. We did. We ordered it anyways. Don't you remember? We got like what, 4 entrees? We got a lot. It was a lot. Okay. Whew. I love sharing food. Yeah, I saw Jan's story. I'm not gonna name any names, but I saw there was a family style meat and someone did not do family style. I would have given that person so much shit. I would have been like, bro, you're gonna family style, you're not eating family style? What the? That's like going to like an Italian restaurant and getting like a burger. And it's like, it just doesn't make sense. Like, just do family style. Okay, not quite the same, but you know, it was definitely weird. And you know, normally I would say I'm not pretty aggro. Normally say I'm like chill for the most part. But when it comes to food, I have no chill, right? When it comes to food, it's just like, I will get political about it. If we go to a restaurant and I'm like, hey y'all, let's do family style, and someone's like, no, I don't want to. Instead of being like, oh, okay, I would be like, why? Why? Or I could be petty and be like, okay, well, we'll all do family style except for you. You know? It's like, don't make us suffer. Why? Yeah. I just like trying everything. Especially if it's like a new place. I don't know when I'm gonna go back. You know? It's especially good we did it at that restaurant. Because like, the restaurant we went to, they're closed down. Like, they're not open anymore. But you know what I can say? I can say I tried almost the entire menu. So, that's pretty nice. Why you guys talk about tripe? Alva will share all his tripe. Oh. Okay, so let's see. Okay, so let's, I I got sent a picture of how to install this. It's like this. Would you recommend putting it through the channel still? You'll need to use the included standoffs to mount the daughter board. Okay, let's see. Otherwise, it does not matter. Okay, got it. Okay, so here are the standoffs. I was reading the message, looking at the picture. Okay. So you install it underneath like this. Wait, let's see. Let's look at this picture. Okay. So it's like this. And the screw goes through. Okay, got it. Got it. Yo, what's up, Kiwi? Is it? Can I do? I'll just do like this. Might be easier. Okay, let's do this. Okay, let's do this. Oh, that's what the tool is for. I see. Oh, okay. I see. Got it. Oops. What's the company name, Kiwi? Oh, Patty cannot design. That's the designer. Okay. So screw the standoffs, and then you put this in, and then you screw these on top. Got it. Nice. So, I have a question. Is it gonna be like this for the group buy? Where did I put the last screw? Right here. It'll be like this for group buy. Okay. And this tool, will it be? Oh, okay. Okay, cool. That's what I was gonna ask, if the tools will be included as well. Hi, Rebecca. I'm good. How about you? Okay, so for those who are like, what just happened? In case you get like confused. So essentially, you know how you have the two screws right here that incorporate the accent weight, right? You're gonna have to use these standoffs, right? You screw these standoffs into the middle two screw points right here. You use this tool to screw it in. So this screw part goes at the bottom. You put the daughter board on top, and then you use the two screws that were originally on there to then screw it in place like this. So it goes standoff, daughter. So here, I'll show you. Here, guys, let me grab this. And it'll be like this for the group buy, and the tools will be included. Cause like I don't have this tool. It'll be included. I just did one session D&D. Oh, how was it? Hi, Soviet. So essentially, it would go. Thanks to follow. So you have your standoff. It goes into the case. You put the PCB, or you put the daughter board, and then you use this top screw that's holding the weight in place, and you screw it in like this. Like that. Oh! Sorry, Kiwi. Kiwi, are you listening? You want me to answer here? I don't have a keyboard, so I can't respond to you. There was a chick who wanted to buy the Freya, but she decided not to. The only one who bought the Freya was that one dude. We only sold one Freya. There was another person who wanted to buy a Freya, but they're waiting for the pre-orders. Yeah. Yeah. He kept rolling really badly. Yeah, it do be like that sometimes. Okay, so I'm gonna do top mount first. Top mount of first. I personally could never really get into D&D, but I think it's because of the people I played with. Because they were like, they would really like push the boundaries of like what you could do in a game. And I was just like trying to learn. And so they were like a little too advanced for me at the time. So that's probably why eventually I was like, yeah, I can't really get into it. No, like I played actual D&D. Matching switches cute, yeah. No, I played actual D&D. Like, um, like the paper. There's no visuals. Well, they would be like, so the people I would play with would basically break campaigns. Cause the um the dungeon master just like was not prepared for like the scenarios they would throw themselves in. Because they would really just like do whatever the heck they wanted to do. And yeah, it's just the thanks for the follow. Just could not keep up with it. And they would kill like integral like NPCs of the story. And be like, well, I can't really progress the story because you keep killing the people we need to progress the story, so. And they would also ask like really weird stuff like, how do I say it? Like, they would ask like irrelevant stuff. So they would be talking to someone and they're like, okay, but, uh, I'm trying to like think of a specific example. It's right here. Yeah, and I think it was like really frustrating for a guy who was like DMing because he would prepare a long thing and then they would get sidetracked and they would just like completely avoid it. It's like, okay, you're supposed to encounter this person by going through like the path. Like you can diverge a few ways. So like here's the path to ultimately this point. They would go this way if like their story had a path, you know. So I couldn't really get into it because I'm like, where's this going? And the DM's like, I don't even know myself because the group you're playing with is just crazy. Sounds frustrating. Yeah, I just ultimately could not get into it. Well, it's not that he was trying to force it. It's like here's ultimately where he wants them to get, and you can go like the different pathways, and he prepares for all of those pathways. And then they just completely go like in a way different, right? It's not so much linear, it's that he's prepared different encounters depending on the choices, but the choices they make are just so insane that he's not able to like rein them back in. And like someone said, it's a player and a DM issue. But as a new player, I was just like, I don't know what's happening. And a lot of the times the DM would be like, well, I did not expect you guys to, do that. So I played like 2 campaigns, and like the second one I was just like, all right, I'm not into it. I'm sure maybe if I played with the right group, it would feel a little better, but yeah. Also, I need to put this on. That's one thing I forgot to do. Baldur's Gate? Put these on. The feet, like the case feet? I got some bad news for you. No, I'll put them on because you requested it. I typically don't put feet on, but it depends. For meetup keyboards that I bring, I always put feet on. I learned the lesson the hard way. Uh, so if I know I'm bringing a board to a meetup, I will put feet on. But for my personal boards, I never put feet on. For clients, I also don't put feet on. And the reason for that is because, well, it depends. If it's adhesive feet, I try not to because in case it shifts and the feet falls off for whatever reason. Um, and so I normally tell clients like, hey, um, you can install the feet yourself so they don't like shift during transit. Okay, you guys want to know my thoughts about shit talking at a meetup? I think that's like one of the scummiest things you can do. Going to a meetup and like judging a person on like the build. Because if you like it, then who's someone else to be like judging you, you know? No, I agree. Honesty is good. But if you're going, because there are people who do this, if you're going to a meetup and like checking everyone's stabilizer and being like, oh, that's shit, you know, I don't like that at all. It's like, why can't you just enjoy the meetup? Like, especially for people who don't have like experience, especially if it's like the first keyboard they built, because I don't know, it just feels bad. Like this person's bringing their keyboard to a meetup and like they're just so excited to finally like show you guys or show everyone, try everyone's keyboard, and then one of the encounters is like, oh, your stabs sound like shit. I would be heartbroken. I would legit never go to another meetup if I were them. If especially it was like my first one. Yeah, people are going to judge, but I think if you have if you have some social tact, you just won't. You just leave it alone, you know. Just let people enjoy their boards. Nice to meet you, but your stab sound. I mean, it's like, especially if it's like their first build. Because I will admit, for me, I didn't know how stabs or switches were supposed to like sound because I had no experience. It wasn't until I went and tried like my friends' boards that I was like, oh, I see. Right? But Blazin, thank you for the 61 months. But not everyone has that like opportunity. And so if it's like someone's first meetup and they haven't built a lot of boards, um then I don't know, have some mercy, you know. Cuz it's one thing coming from like your friend cuz like MJ, thank you for the 28. It's one thing coming from your friend, but it's another thing coming from a stranger in my opinion. Like if if for example like Avo's like your board sounds like shit, I would be like, yeah, your board sounds like shit too. But if it was like a stranger saying that to me, I would be like, oh damn, feels bad, man. But I mean, you could say that for the other way, where it's like you care about what your friends say, but if a stranger says it, you're just like, I don't care. It could go either way. No, I have seen some people go to meetups, they tap on the stab, and they're like bad. And they're like, I can't even enjoy the board, it's so bad. And I like I was like, what the fuck is wrong with you? What the hell? Lamb, thank you for the 2 months. I mean, maybe this is just me being sensitive, but if we don't have anything nice to say, just like walk away, in my opinion. You know what else drives me crazy? What? Have do not pick up. Oh, yeah, for sure. They don't care. Okay, let me grab this one. The baby! Hi! Hi, baby! You're so cute. Hey, I still like your ricotta hating white ass. True. NorCal, there's few Spency boards that were interesting. You need a giant white sheet of paper that says do not pick up. No, you need like, how do I say it? You need something that like is underneath and stains their hands or something. Yo. Yeah or nah? Yeah? I just got this set in. Thanks, Finn. Yeah. This is La Vie en Rose. It's very pretty, right? Also, thanks for the hype train. Yeah, I can do ABS after this. Exclamation point egg tart. It's an ABS PBT mix, yeah. It's from Swagkeys, right? Oh. Yep, no problem. I think, honestly, Vin got it from KLC. Now that I think about it. Nutjar? I still don't even know what that command is. Sometimes I look through my commands, I'm like, who made this? There's some commands that you guys have forgotten over the years as well, so thank God for that. Okay, which one? Do you guys think I should use this Miru or this bean? I think this bean is a lot better. Send me the list? No way. No way. There's some commands that deserve to be forgotten forever. I'm going to scream. But, going back to what we were saying, if you're going to a meetup, so just try to be nice. I mean, if you're gonna be mean, just... I don't know. Just be aware you could be breaking someone's heart. And that you were there before, too. Of course, if it's like some shithead, like... Okay, sorry, I'm not gonna say Avo again. For example, if it's like... If I know I'm like doing a troll build, I'm like, heh. Like, okay, sure, but you never know. Like, some people, they don't, it's what they like, you know? Sorry, Avo. I got a notification. What is this? Oh. Damn, I thought I won a raffle. No, it's just them telling me, oh, your payment went... You just paid this much to someone. Yeah, you like it? It looks nice, right? Are these in stock, too? This keycap set? I don't know. I didn't check. Yeah, you can buy them. Yeah. There was a link that had it. The keeps and cables. Now that you've posted it's gonna sell out? I don't think so. It's the power of marketing. You really think it's gonna sell out? Cordy Pop too. There you go. You have sites. I have to think about it. I either want to do 3 artisans or just the 1 artisan here. I have to think about it. Yeah, so there's what? Pica? I think it's another alternative. But Pica I don't think you can buy. Anymore. Or might be pre-order. I know they just what's it? Klein? The blue one? White on black. Avo. Just keep being Avo, I guess. Klein only? Damn, no Pyga. I do have Pyga. I don't know why Avo is like this. He has been a menace? Damn. Just one of those things, I guess. Where's my FN? He's killed my quality. Okay, I don't know if that's his fault. What's the one that Mikiba ran? Was it like blood something? Lot. Wait. Oh shoot. Oops. These are tight. Look. This is so cute. I like it. I want to play a song for you guys. I haven't been listening to my own music. Has it been playing? Okay, it has. I will. What? Hi, Surmise. Listen to this song. This is the kind of songs I like. Recently, I should say. Doing good. I haven't streamed in a while. I haven't streamed in like almost a week. Well, no, it has. Okay, I just got back from a week and a half, and I streamed yesterday. But that's why, like, You haven't been missing much, because I haven't been here. Sorry, chat. Not to bring it up again. These are the 3 red lats I have. Would the purple throw it off, though, you think? Kind of, right? Yeah, I was just thinking of doing that. You guys think? That road is nice. Yeah. Whoa. What? Do you mind sharing, like, how close you are to the cap? I need to know whether I buy this tonight. Or when I need to buy this. 70? Okay. Thanks for the follow. That red is so cute. So pretty. I agree. Oh, there's an indicator. So it looks like it's just one big strip. Cool. Good night, Surmise. Hey. Alright, let's do the typing test. This is trash. Trash. Different Patty. The designer is also Patty. Yes. No num nums is Patty. Let's see. This blends in. Passion fruit. Red samurai. So we have our theme, red samurai. Fire. I think red samurai. There's red dragon, red samurai. Is there maroon? There's not. We can do this one. Yo, what's up, Ankit? Hello. What's up? I'm calling baby Ankit here. Little baby Ankit. Or Ankitty, true. Well, I call him baby Ankit. He's like, shut up, Patty. But which Patty is he talking to? Okay, I'll mute real quick. I think I could pass this older than you now. Yeah, actually true. Ankit's like a grumpy old man trapped in like a young person's body. Okay. You guys hear me? So this is the Alyssia. We're building PC plate. This is top mount. We're using Sarokey strawberry wine switches. This is stock switches. On a PC plate. This is Levion Rose keycaps from Swag Keys. And yeah. So TLDR, PC plate, top mount, Sarokey strawberry wine switches, and yeah, cool. This is a PBT ABS mix. Okay. Is it possible to mix and match mounting styles? I checked in both gummy and top mount. You didn't like it that much. At the same time, can you do like, one here, screw these in? Can you do that? Yes, this is the 1mm PCB. And this is the PC full plate. There's an alu full plate and also a alu half plate as well. Can I potato? Let's hear what it sounds with the other. Yeah, we can do different configs. I will say, typing on this was very comfortable. Egg tart. You're biased, Miss Alyssia? Stop. I mean, normally I would have to use like a wrist rest. Too many commands? That's what I'm saying. You want me to delete some? I can do that. You're too biased. You guys like this song? Kind of reminds me of like Glass Animals. I finally got one from her. Yeah, she doesn't. I mean, she restocks, I would say, like often, but not like super often. I went to a Joji concert recently, and it's like, it's making me want to go to other concerts again. I used to be such like a concert goer. This song is called Take You Home by Slender Bodies. Oh, they're right here. But I'm not the type of concert goer that like pre-games and drinks or anything like that. I just go there and enjoy the music without being on drugs or anything like that. Which is nothing wrong with that, but it's just like I used to have friends who would want to go to concerts, but they want to like drink beforehand to really enjoy it. I don't need a wrist rest of the bolster list. Does this need one? No, this one does not. If you don't need one with the bolster list, you definitely do not need one with this. Yeah, I mean, I said there's nothing wrong with that, but it's just like, it was hard for me because I wouldn't want to drink and I would have to like take care of them because they would get smashed at the concert and then I couldn't like enjoy the music because I was not smashed with them. And that's why like I would just go to concerts by myself instead of asking people to go with me. But yeah, I definitely said there's nothing wrong with that. It's just not my vibe. Yeah, that felt really bad. I want to enjoy the music, but then I have to like worry about my friend who is like hitting on a girl and creeping her out. And I would have to be like, stop. Can't even like listen to a music. I can't even like enjoy the show. I'm guessing it's because like being young and in college, it's like you feel like you need to like pregame to enjoy yourself, and I'm like just like you don't have to. I don't want to. But I have one friend who would drink just so that like she could loosen up and like enjoy like dancing. So there's like that perspective as well. Wait, pre-gaming? No. Pre-gaming as in like eating beforehand? I'm down. I used to say sorry a lot to the people I hung out with because it's like, hey, sorry, I'm like boring. But then as I grew older, I realized like I shouldn't be sorry for anything. It's just how I am. And if that's how I am, that's just how I am. I should not be sorry. But it took me a long time to realize that. I used to feel out of place a lot for not like drinking or partying or doing drugs. Like I would just play video games and be content with that. Like I joke that I never had like the college experience, but I never like went crazy, I guess I should say. But there's nothing wrong with that. That's just how I was. But when you're young and you just, you know, you want people to like you, I didn't really find like my crowd until like later on. Like I had like my group of friends for sure, but I always felt like a little out of place. It wasn't until later on that I really found people I like meshed well with. And it's like I don't have like a lot of like people I would say are like my best friends, but the ones that I do, like I would do anything for them. Except go to concerts with them where they get smashed. I'm not doing that anymore. I have to set my personal boundaries. All right. Concerts too expensive now. They can be. I can only afford to go Fortnite. Oh no. Why did I put the song on this playlist? Who knows? Okay, so this one is. Let's see. Okay, sorry. Who's gonna see Eminem with me in Fortnite? Oh my gosh. Okay. Sorry, I was looking up something. Okay, so this one is the O-ring mount. The O-ring tab gasket mount, but it's still the Sarokey strawberry wines and the PC plate. So it's weird because, yeah, I would say that the alphas are very high pitched. The mods actually sounded fine, right? Yeah, I think it's like the alphas that have that like higher pingy sound, but the mod sounded fine. You think it's the PCB? This is tab O-ring with the PC plate. I think top mount. I liked top mount a lot more. I can do a mix if you guys want me to try that. I'm not gonna do both because Patty said that didn't like it. I could do a mix. Maybe we could take away the tabs right here and put the top mount. Maybe that will fix the alphas, because honestly the mod sounded fine to me on this one. But it's here where it's like a huge discrepancy between the two of them. Would that be something you would want me to try? Would you guys be interested in that? Unless it's not recommended by the designer, of course, but maybe it could help it. Yeah? Okay. Mix and matching. Yeah, my chat loves mixing and matching. Which, there was one comment that like really pissed me off because someone's like, ugh, like this chick just did like the same switches and plates like for 4 hours, and it's like, yeah, because I was doing like the different mountings and stuff. Come on. It's trying different mounting points and stuff. Come on. Thanks for the follow. But my mods were like ready to go to war. Sometimes it's hard because like um I'm limited to what the designers want me to showcase. Some are like, oh, just do whatever. Or some are like, no, definitely use this combo. Um, so that can be hard sometimes, I guess. You can't please everyone, is what I'm trying to say. I got a comment on my one of my YouTube videos, and I don't know, sometimes people are so mean. I should have thicker skin. Yeah, true. YouTube comments are always even with keywords. Just disable YouTube comments. I told Clarsus that YouTube comments are the worst. He was like, don't even read them. He's like, just don't even. I talked to Shoobs too, and he said he had to stop reading them for a while as well. Toxicity fuels the growth. Yeah. Comments can definitely get in your head, yeah. Yeah. I see the O-rings. I'll take them out in a little bit. Like this first. You guys remember when one person came in and was like, LOL 2 hours for stabs? And I was like, yeah, you can leave if you freaking rude ass. Hi, Frank. How was your wedding yesterday? You and couple get married? How was my break from Avo? Oh, you know. Yeah, you said BRB wedding, and then couple said BRB marrying Frank. You know, just when I thought Avo was like okay, and then I saw his sushi rolls with nothing in it but rice, and I was like, alright, never mind. They came in first time chat. I built 2 boards in the time you've been doing these stabs. Damn. I would have banned that person so fast. At a Christina church. Christina Aguilera church. What happened to Christina Aguilera? Now I'm thinking about her. Oh, it's a Kirby. Okay, so this is the same config except this is O-rings on the edge and then top mount screws in the center. Yo-ho! I like this mix mount. Oh, Switch Dog! Thank you for the raid. I appreciate it. The designer's no num nums. Yeah, no num nums is the designer. Name is also Patty. Also, hello Switch Dog. Hello. Hello everyone from Switch Dog stream. My name is Patricia, aka Patty, aka Xing Xing Wang, aka XXW. But we are building the Alyssia. This isn't group by right now. Until December 17th. It has a cap at 100 and it's actually at 70 at the moment. Starts at $430, comes in 5 different colors. It is advertised as an Alice with thin bezels. It is dual mounted, so you can either do tab O-ring gasket or you can do top mount. Yeah, congrats, Patty. Yeah, so this is the dark red, and then for the accent weight, there are 7 different options you can pick from. Internally, there is a PC window for the wire, and there's an internal copper weight. There's also this LED indicator right here with the diffuser. Chickadee, thanks for the 3 months. Hello! Welcome back. We actually just did... Hi, Meep. We just did a dual mount, so a mix and match mount. So we did top mount, we did O-ring tab gasket, and this is a mix. So essentially, I really like top mount, right? Top mount, classic. But when we swap to the tab O-ring, the mods are fine, but the alphas were a little like, I don't want to say pingy, but definitely like higher pitched. So what we did is we did a mix of the top mount right here and then the tab gaskets right here. So here's what the gasket or the O-rings look like. Well, I'll just show you the plate. Let me grab a plate. So this is the alu full plate, But as you can see, there are 4 gasket tabs up top, 4 on the bottom, so a total of 8. And then here you have the top mount screw points right here. So also 4 on top, 4 on the bottom, right? And so what we did is we did the 2 screws right here, 2 screws right here, and then we did the tabs. I thought it sounded pretty good. It felt pretty good too. But yeah, that's the beauty with having like dual mounts, is that sometimes you're able to mix and match, sometimes not so much. But I thought the mods sounded fine with the O-rings, but the alphas are not good. So we did the top mount here, and it fixed it. Well, I don't want to say fixed it, but it really like evened out the sound. So I wonder how it would sound if you do like, I can do one more config where I swap. So I do the top mounts right here and the alphas right here. It might change the sound, it might change the typing feel. We'll see. But yeah, if any of you have any questions, No Num Nums is Patty, also the designer of this board. Okay, let's open it up and try it. Thank you for trying out. Oh yeah, no problem. Full gasket mount, it was softer, I would say, than top mount, but that's what I think what you would expect. But how would I say with full gasket? So I think the issue with full gasket mount, at least with this PCB, because this PCB is 1 mm, right? And there's also a big flux cut, a big cut in the middle like this. So it was, yeah, it's thin, yeah. I'm not quite sure how to like put that into words. I will say top mount felt the most consistent. The full gasket mount was softer. I don't want to say it was typing on it's like a little spooky, but if you're like a heavy typer, you know. If you're a heavy typer, it definitely was like a lot more flexy. But I do think part of the issue is that this cut right here, and maybe how thin the PCB is. But if you're not like a heavy typer, then it felt fine. You like stiff boards, and I would recommend all top mount. This one makes the alphas feel a lot more stable, but that the mods are also like, the mods are still consistent. No, it wasn't like rock solid. As someone who's a big fan of big bezels, this board looks pretty good, yeah. I like the look for sure. I wouldn't use tactiles on this board with this PCB. I will say that. This PCB is 1 mm, but they have different ones that you can buy. There's actually 3 PCBs that you can buy. So you have 2 hot swap options and you have 1 solder option. Do I think the board would short? I don't think so, but I don't think so. But you can ask Patty. I'm not like a heavy typer, so there is that. Oh, I mean, other designer Patty. Thanks for the follow. Today's just JJW and Patty's Patty. I'd say if you like using 90 grams switches you style in my shirt. I put tactile mode clickies with 75 gram okay, Meeper gone. Yeah, I remember the first time I typed on some of Meep's keyboards and I was like, what the fuck? Why is this one so heavy? He's like, oh yeah, I casually put super heavy switches in there. It's like, what the okay, what for? I like, sometimes I type on boards at meetups and my fingers just get so tired. There are some boards though that which company did the gasket linear inside the flex cut? That was I know which board you're talking about. The plug. Yeah, TKD. Yes. I wish there was more bent metal boards. What are you talking about? Bent metal boards? God, what is that board called? I'm blanking on it right now. Cycle 7. Right? No. Yeah, that's the one I'm talking about. No, that's the one they were talking about by TKD. No, that's the one they're asking about the plug. No. Oh my god, bunch of turds. Yeah, I know, because they were talking about Hyper 7. The PCB plug. You can plug the big flex cut in the PCB. You know, someone asked me to build an insane keyboard called the, where is it? Oh, it is the Hyper 7. Yeah. Yeah. He says they ship in February. He's gonna get Oil Kings with the rock stabs. And Connor's like, do you want the switches lubed? And he goes, they're oil kings, man. Yeah, I mentioned this on stream. One stream ago. Before I left. Would I build it for you? I mean, sure. Welcome to the board. Thank you for the prime. Welcome. Thank you for your support. You now have a bunch of cute emotes. And I also changed them out during the holidays. Next month, we're gonna have Christmas emotes. And I'm also in the process of commissioning more emotes. And Twitch is about to give us more animated emotes. So, and if you connect your account from Twitch to Discord, you can use my emotes anywhere. They're all on my dog, Ginkert. Patricia, next month is next week. Oh shit. You're right. Wait, you're right. Oh, I need to start working on the emotes then. Timothy Chalamet added to their story. Interesting. I see. I see. Okay, sorry. Patty traveling. It's a model that looks like Timothy. No, it's not actually him. But he slays. Couldn't tell the difference? Yeah, not a true fan. Obviously, you couldn't tell the difference. Shake my head. Okay, I'm gonna mute. I think they were on Cordy Pop and like Keebs and Cables. Okay, so this configuration is we have the gaskets here and then the top mount here. So this is a mix again. Is it the Prius mount because it's a hybrid? You could do top mount, O-ring gasket, or Prius. Okay, yeah. So this configuration was the tabs in the middle and then the top mount on the outsides. I told you over here the Prius mount trust. So what did you guys think? Did you like this configuration or the previous one? I actually think they were both pretty good. I think the sound changed and the typing feel also changed slightly. Um, I can't remember. The V1 Prius mount sounded better. I think I saw someone say they liked this one. Um, I think this one, the alphas are actually stronger. Um, I like the alphas more than the mods here. Also that these have a higher pitch than these. I would say that the mix and matching of the mounts definitely evened out the sound versus like doing like all gasket. Yeah, I would say so too. The bars are a bit weaker on the V2, but I guess it depends, right? Uh, because I felt like the alphas are actually stronger here. I think between like the two of them, sound wise, the first one was more consistent, but typing, I would say this one is more consistent. Yeah. Stiffness comparison between the Prius mounts. So V1 I think was stiffest just because the alphas are in the top mount, but with the O-rings right here, this felt very pleasant to type on, in my opinion, right? And so I would say for the alphas, it's more stiff with the first version, but second version, this was not as stiff. I actually like typing on the second version more. Although I will say that overall, the board sounded most consistent with the first one. Does that make sense? This one felt better for me to type on. But if you're a stiff liker, then you'll probably like the first one more. But yeah, that is my opinion on it. But as I said earlier, that's like the neat thing about having boards that can do dual mount is that you can mix and match, right? Especially with the way that Patty designed the plates in the board, that you can technically do one or the other, or you can mix and match. Some boards you see, like you can only do, this way, or you can only do this other way, and then you would have to buy like a separate plate to do like another mount. But this is nice because at least this plate had both. As for the plates, there are 3 different plates you can buy. You can buy full, half, or you can buy alu full and half, and then you can buy PC full, right? I love me some mix and match. Okay, but let's talk about the board. I was actually getting distracted because the V1 version, I was thinking about what songs Christina Aguilera had, and I wasn't sure if Genie in a Bottle was by her. So I was a little distracted during that one. And then this last typing test, I was distracted because I was thinking about what I was going to eat. If I was going to eat the pork sandos my cousin bought me, or if I should eat the tacos that I had. Um, but anyways, yeah, I was a bit distracted during this typing test. How about both? Yeah, I could have both. I could mix and match. We do love mixing and matching. Hi, Smurf. I didn't stream that week because I was gone. And I was gaming from a friend's place, so... Okay, but yeah, let's talk about the sport, because there's a lot to talk about. Okay, so... For those who missed it and don't know the name of this is the Alyssia, or the Alyssia. This is the dark red colorway. The group buy ends December 17th. It has started already. It started November 19th. The group buy closes either on December 17th or when they hit the cap of 100. It's currently at 70 units. So it comes in 5 colors: silver, pink, light purple, dark red, and black. This is the dark red. There are 3 PCB bundles that you can pick from. You can pick 2 hot swaps or 1 solder. My red ladder's on a different board though, I have to go find it. As for the plates, you have 3 options. You have alu full in half, or you have PC full. As for the accents right here, you have 7 different colors, and I can read out the colors here. You can do silver, pink, light purple, red, black, sandblasted, coated copper, or raw machine stainless steel. Neat. We've killed the first boss so far. But yeah, so here's the front. So looking at the front, you can see the weight right here, or the accent piece. So this weight right here is actually L-shaped. I'll show you guys later, but this board is advertised as thin bezels, so that's why it's extremely thin. There is an LED indicator right here. So it has 3 LEDs, but it's just one continuous light from what I saw. But standard Alice layout, you have the 3 keys on the left-hand side. 3 keys on the left-hand side. But yeah, so looking from the top, you can see the accent piece right here. Looking at the side, so here is where you start to see some curves. And then looking at the back, you can see the curves on the side, right? And then you can also see the curve right here. In terms of case screws, there is 2 on top and then 4 at the bottom. I don't do drop tests. But you do have the 4 feet. And here you can see the weight again. So the weight is visible from pretty much all angles. You can see it on the side, you can see it on the back, and you can see it from up top, right? So this is the back. Here's a USB port. So the USB port is incorporated into this weight. And then here is the front lip. So you can see the curves right here. So it raises up here. So that's what the board looks like from the outside. And we will look at the board from the inside for those who might have missed it. Did you have a daughter board or a built-in one? Daughter board. It was with the daughter board. Thanks for the follow. If you guys are new here, I build keyboards. I do keyboard reviews, typically on the weekends. And then on the weekdays, I play WoW. And this right here, I'm giving away a keyboard for every mythic boss we killed. So far, we've killed 1. So I'll be giving 1 keyboard. 1.6 mm no flex cuts. Or you can get the sneak box, which is 1 mm with flex cuts. She also does variety games on special occasions if chat behaves. Yeah, but that like never happens, so GG. So a couple things to talk about with this board. Internally, I should say. So internally, This diffuser is held held on top by 2 screws, right? You do have anchor points on the board, but they're very small. So there's one right here, one right here, one here, one here. So total of 4 anchor points to help you align it. Does use daughter board. And the bottom is the most intricate part that you're looking at. So while this is acrylic, it will be PC for the group buy. And here it has like a little groove that you can put the cable through. So I'll show you what that looks like. You just, once you have it in, then this is like where the cable will go through once you secure it. But yeah, so that's what this groove is for. You have the internal weight, and the designer, Patty, said that these are cut out for more clearance for heavy typers, right? It's held together or held in place by 5 screws. And here you have the daughter board, and it's neat because this daughter board is incorporated into the accent weight, right? And what I mean by that is, I'll show you guys. So the tools will be provided to do this, but basically this daughter board is connected by standoffs. So here, you would take the daughter board out, so it slides out from here. And here you can see the 2 standoffs, and you use this tool to basically secure it in place. But when you get it, this side accent piece has 4 screws keeping it in place. And it's an L weight, and I'll show you what that looks like. And there are 3 basically like anchor points to kind of help keep it in place. You have this side right here, so you see how this came out. You have the sides right here to anchor it, but then you also have this piece right here to anchor it. And right here is where the USB would go in. So you can see USB port, it would go in like this. And then here you have this also anchor point. So it is an L-shaped, right? The board is compatible with Geonfly daughter boards. Nice. Yeah, so here's the accent weight. And so Patty's done something really cool here. So normally you would have these 4 screws keeping it in place, right? So you would screw the sides on first. So once you get one side, you get the second side. This is something that is going to be present in the group buy. So you will have to do it yourself, but the tools will be included. But normally you would have like the screws, right, like flush on it. But here we use standoffs for the daughter board. So this acts as a screw. You see that? This bottom part acts as a screw for the 2 weights. So essentially what you would do is once you screw those in, you put the daughter board, which should slide in, and then you can screw this on top, which keeps it in place. So I'll show you what it looks like from the side. Yeah. So this is what it would look like assembled. So this weight, this screw, which would normally be right here, is now replaced by the standoff. So this standoff screw goes in, and in order to keep the daughter board in place, you now screw the screw securing the weight in the top of the standoff, like this. Does that make sense? So it's like a sandwich. That might have been kind of confusing, but basically, in order to keep the daughter board in place, you use standoffs that are incorporated as a screw to also keep the weight in place, the accent weight in place. But yeah. So you do need a tool for this one. So once you get the standoffs, oops. You just take this, and then you just screw it in. Hi Nico, what's up? Long time no see. take this, screw it in, and then from here you can just slide in the daughter board like this. So you want to make sure that the JST side is up. And you just screw it in like this. Boop, into the standoff. And that is how you keep the daughter board in place, and also how it's incorporated into the accent weight. So it's neat. There you have it. Ooh. Neat, right? I think this part is actually the coolest part. And then lastly, let's look at the plate, since we're still looking at internals. So here's like the difference between the PC plate and the alu plate is the gasket tabs and the top mount mounting screws are the same. However, the gasket tabs on the alu have this cut in all the gaskets. The PC plate does not have that. And also, for the top mount, these are on the outside, right? Except for these two, which are incorporated into the plate with little relief cuts. And then you can see the PCB has holes for you to screw in for the top mount. But yeah, that's the main difference between the alu and the PC plate, is that the tabs have gasket cuts. Yeah, but that is the board. Is there anything else I forgot to mention? Is there anything else Patty would like to mention? Patty the designer. But yeah, that is the board. I was online, saw you streaming, want to say hi. Hello, I hope you've been doing well. I think you covered everything. Sweet. XXW the designer? Yeah. Never. It's JJW. That's my alias. It's not XXW, it's JJW. For those who don't know why chat keeps calling me JJW, it's because someone in the Discord was like, who is that? That streamer, JJW? And it was like, Jingjing Wang? Because my name is Xing Wang, right? And they were like, oh, that's the streamer, Jingjing Wang, JJW. And it's like, close enough, I guess. Yeah. Petition to change it to Jingjing Wang. But yep, that is the board. Thank you, Patty or No Num Nums, for sending it out to me. If you guys are interested in this board, it's at 70 units. It caps out at 100. So there is a cap. Yes. Such a pretty board. I hope I get to build one at some point. It is very pretty. Time to play Slay the Spire until I pass out with regret. I love Slay the Spire. But yeah, thank you, Patty, for sending it out to me. I hope you guys liked it. I'll have a VOD on it soon, or a video on it soon. However, I will say they are close to their cap. And don't miss out. Not to give anyone FOMO, but just to tell you guys ahead of time, in case you're like, wow, I just saw you build it, and I can't buy it anymore. And it's like, yeah, sorry. They're close to the cap. Patty actually hit MOQ the first day. So, dang. Yep, Sneak Box is the vendor. 5 colors, 7 different accents, 3 plates, 3 PCBs. Starts at 430. And it is compatible. It will be compatible with a few PCBs, including the Geon one. The one I use for Meow Ice. But yeah, that's the board. I'll have these clips, the soundboard, or the sound... what? The sound test clip for you soon, aka my mods. I'm tempted to swipe. Me too. I like low profile Alice boards. I don't want to say low profile, but like low typing angles. And I like the thin bezels, and I can't buy you know whose products. I feel bad.